Hi everyone, this session is about how to use the Orca tool and about the custom actions. First we'll see how to download the Orca. First you open any of your browser and type the Orca free download. Okay, this is a free software. So you can just type it here, and when you click on enter, you'll see the same window. You can click on the first one, how to download. And then when you come down, you'll have an option to download Orca MSI. When you click on it, just click on it and it will get downloaded here. Like a zip file, it will get downloaded. Okay, in your downloads tab, actually I have already downloaded, so it is showing here. Usually it will download here in the downloads of your system. Okay, so it will download as a zip format, .zip. So you should right click and click on extract all and click extract, so that it will be extracted. The zip file will be converted into a normal folder. When you open this folder, you will see the MSI. Okay, so you can just double click it, click on next, and until you get a finish button, and that will get installed. As I have already installed, it is showing some other type of window. So just double click it and click on next, and until you get a finish tab, and you click on finish, and this will get installed. Okay, so I'm already having it on my system. So let's see in the control panel. See, okay, this is already present in my system. Okay, so now you have installed the Orca. So if you want to open a particular MSI, okay, see, we have an MSI here, partial.msi. Okay, so we can open the MSIs only with the Orca tool. Okay, so to open this, you can directly right click on it, open with, and you can browse the Orca actually. So open with, for the first time if you are opening, you won't have this table editor. This table editor is nothing but the Orca application. For the first time if you are browsing it, click on open with, choose another app. Okay, and go to choose an app on your PC and go to the location where the Orca is there. Okay, so I'm searching for Orca here. Since it's under C program files x86, I'm clicking on Orca and selecting that Orca exe which is formed from the installation. I click on open. Okay, so now I can see this table editor. This table editor is nothing but the Orca only. So click on this table editor, click just once. Okay, click S or S if it asks for S or no. Now the MSI is open. This is the first time. Okay, first time when you're opening, you need to browse the orca.exe so that it will open, the MSI will open with Orca. Okay, now I'm closing the MSI which I opened with Orca, and I'm just trying to open it again. If you see, when I right click on the MSI, there is an open with option, open with, and we should select the table editor which is nothing but Orca. Okay, click on S. So now this is open directly. Now we didn't browse any orca.exe. First time only we need to browse, and second time onwards it will open by itself whenever you select the table editor. Okay, so Orca is nothing but the table editor. Actually, these are all the tables present in the MSI. Okay, these are the tables already present in the MSI which are created by the vendor of the application. Okay, vendor of this, for example, PowerShell. So Microsoft is the vendor of this application, so they have created this particular MSI. Now you see all the tables which are present in the MSI. Okay, so you can view the tables of the MSI using the Orca. Okay, you can see how many shortcuts are there, how many features are there, how many components are there. Okay, so you can view the tables and you can also modify the tables using an Orca. If you want to create an MST, also click on File, Save As. Okay, select the location where you want to create the MST. This is the location you have selected where you want to create the MST, and give the name for the MST. Okay, PowerShell is my application. So type .mst. Okay, there is no option in the drop down called MST. So just type .mst here and click on save. Okay, it's already there. I have created earlier, so it is asking for a replace. So whenever you do like this, you will get the MST created. Let me create an MST in other location. Okay, so testing. In this folder, testing folder, now I am going to create an MST. Okay, dot MST I am giving and clicking on the, here I am selecting the all files. Here I have given dot MST and clicking on save. Now the MST will be created here. See, this is the MST that is created. Okay, so by using Orca, you can view the tables of an MSI, edit an MSI, or create an MST and then edit it. Okay, this is the purpose of Orca. Orca is to see the tables MSI format and to edit it also. How you will edit it? See, come to properties. If you want to add a property, okay, if you have some property called add local, which we discussed earlier, okay, I want to add a add local property. So click on here property and give the value here, and then value. What would be the value? All, means it will install all the features. Okay, so this property, now I have added this property and simply I click on save and the MST will be saved with the changes. So I can install the MSI along with this MST which has this new change. Okay, so you can use edit or view the MSI and create an MST also. Okay, this is the purpose of Orca. Next, jump into the other topic called custom actions. So, custom actions, let me open the documentation. So, generally the custom actions, what is an action? Action is some activity, right? So, what you want to do is an action. So, here if you have a file, here the required action is like copy the file to some particular component or a location. Right? Components are nothing but combination of files and registries which will place the files and registries according to the MSI or the installation directory. Okay. So similarly, these are all the actions which are predefined. Predefined means actually created. So these are all the actions are the standard actions. See, here we have standard action. This standard action is nothing but an action that is already defined within the MSI. The vendor has already defined it. We have not defined. We have not created any actions. These are all the actions which are created by the vendor, which are related to files, folders, registries, and some actions that needs to be done. Okay. The whatever tables you can see here are called standard actions, which are the predefined actions in the MSI. Okay. Those are the standard actions. And other than these actions, if you want to add some other actions to your MSI, like if you want to delete some files, copy some files, or add some files, add registries, you want to give permissions to some folders. So any additional activity you want to do, that is comes under a custom action, means customization. You're doing your own changes or you're asking to make your own changes. Standard actions are something like a ready-made kind of dress which is already there in the shop, and custom actions are something which are like a customized dress. Okay, something like this is an example. So if you want to make any customizations to your fabric or your dress, and the output which will come is called a custom action. Okay, and if the dress already which is present is called a standard action. So there are two types of actions, standard actions and custom action. The interview question is like name few standard actions and what is the use of them. So you can select few of these standard actions and tell them. Okay, so let's discuss some standard actions so that you can answer in the interview. Okay. The one of the standard action is called file cost. Okay, so whenever you start an installation, okay, you have some actions. If you see the install UI sequence here, okay, so if you see this sequence, here are some actions already, and if we have sort with this sequence, whenever I sort here, if you see, there is a name called sequence. Sequence means nothing but order. Means these actions will be executed in this order. First -3, -2, -1, and again till the end of the actions. Okay. So here one action is there which is called a file cost. Means whenever an installation is started, what it will do actually. If I am wanted to install some package software like PowerShell on my system, the first thing it will search is like whether my machine has any kind of like the space or the memory required for that particular MSI to install. It will check whether the particular space is there or not. Where you will check the space? In your system, usually if you type this PC also, you can see. Okay, in start menu also, in the Windows button you can type this PC, then also you will get actually sometimes. If you're not getting also, you can directly go to the C drive, whatever drive you have, and you can see this PC. Click on this PC. You can see what are all the drives are present and what is the free space. Okay, so this is the free space. The white part is the free space that is present. You can also see in the terms like 858 GB is free. So it will check whether the machine has the relevant memory or space to install that particular MSI. Okay, and this will be done by the file cost action. Whenever the installation comes to cost initialize, it started analyzing in the initialize phase, cost initialize phase. It will start the analyzation whether the application is having the required memory or not. And when it comes to file cost particularly counts how many files are there in the particular MSI. See, this is the file. So file table. So this many files are there. So what a file cost will do? It will see how many files are there in the MSI and how much space it will take. So cost initialize, file cost, and cost finalize. When it comes to cost finalize, it will finally finalize how much memory is needed, how much space is needed for this application. So cost initialize is really initialize the required scanning, and it will check how many files are there, and based on this it will finalize how much space is required. So these actions are used to identify how much space is required. Okay, so here comes the example of standard action like for file cost. Okay, or the cost initialize and cost finalize. You can explain in the same sequence. Okay, and then the other standard action is a launch condition. Launch condition is like whenever you launch an application, like whenever you double click an MSI. Okay, whenever you double click an MSI, before you get this next button, this will check the OS, operating system, whether my operating system is Windows 11 now. So whether this application which I am going to install is compatible with this version. Just assume you have apps in your mobile. One of you have Android mobile and the other one have an iOS, Apple. Okay, Apple mobile. So in that case, when some application will be such that that particular application is used for Android users only. Okay, the iOS users cannot use the same application, and in some cases iOS users can have a specific application made for them only. Android users cannot use the same application. You cannot download that app from the Play Store, okay, or the App Store. So like that only, based upon the OS, operating system present on the system, okay, on the computer, the application will check which operating system is present, and then according to the compatibility, if that application or the software is made for that version, then it will install. Okay, so here we can see in the launch condition table, there is a supported only for Windows 8.1 and above. Okay, so this particular PowerShell application can be installed on a Windows 8.1 version operating system or above. Windows 8 above means Windows 10, Windows 11, Windows 11 21, H2, 22, H2 like that. So whatever is above the Windows 11 8.1, in that operating system you can install this PowerShell application. And if you are installing on a server application, okay, server system, your machine is a server. In that case, server 2012 or above, 2016, 2019, that should be the case, 2012. So in that way only this application will install. Okay, normal Windows machine, this is the requirement, and for servers, Windows Server or above. So this condition should be satisfied so that the application will install. This is called the launch condition. Okay, here the version NT number is the number which decides which version of OS you have. Okay, version NT is greater than 603 means it will be above Windows 8.1. So the basically launch condition means it will check which OS you have and whether the application you are installing is okay for that OS or not. If you have a Windows 7 OS, this application cannot install because this is supported or made for only the machines with operating system 8.1, Windows 8.1 and above. Okay, this is not compatible, not used, not possible to install on Windows 7 or earlier versions. This is the launch condition. This is one more standard actions we just came to know. And then comes the app search. App search is one more table here. App search is used to generally find the search a file or a registry. Okay, think you have an application like Visual Basic application you have, and you have a prerequisite. Prerequisite means if I want to install Visual Basic, before that my machine should have .NET present on my computer. If .NET is already installed only, then only the Visual Basic will install. If the .NET is not installed on my system, the Visual Basic won't get installed. Okay, means dependency. If something is there already on the system, then only I will install. That is called a dependency or prerequisite. Okay, this Visual Basic is dependent on .NET application. If the .NET application is not present, Visual Basic won't get installed. So what is a prerequisite? Means whatever is required before. Pre means before. Okay, before the main installation, whatever is required. What is required here? To install the Visual Basic, which is a main application, .NET is required. So that is called a prerequisite. Okay, if app search is used to search a file or registry related to that prerequisite. Scenarios I am telling about. If there is a scenario where you need to check a particular file is present on the system. If a file related to .NET or a registry related to .NET is present on the system, then only the installation should proceed further. If .NET is not present, the installation should fail. Okay. So in that case, what we will do? We will keep a file search in the app search here. That will search whether that particular registry or file is present. If that is present only, the installation will progress. Okay. Here in this case, they have mentioned one version plugin. If this plugin is present, then only the installation should proceed. If the plugin is not present on the system, the installation should fail. Okay, so that is a prerequisite. Before the main installation, whatever is required, that is called the prerequisite or a dependency. And to check the presence of that dependency, we can use the app search table. Okay, this is a table where you can search previous install folder. If that folder is present, then only proceed with the installation, like that. Okay, whenever you create one entry in the app search table, you can also create one by clicking on add row and giving a property name like this and giving a signature. So whenever you create an entry in an app search table, there would also be an entry in the signature table. If you see here, there are two files in the signature table, and also in the app search you will find these files, plugin and UCRT base. See, these are the two files. So app search and signature table are interlinked. Okay, so whenever you add a file or add a registry, entry will definitely form in the signature table. So one more standard action you can explain is app search. Search the presence of a prerequisite file or a registry. Or and app search or signature table are interrelated. App search or signature table are interrelated. Okay. This is about app search table, launch condition table, and about the file cost or the cost initialized things. I have told you about 3 standard actions here. And also we can tell about the upgrade table here. Upgrade table means if you have any older version present in your system, you want to uninstall it automatically. So in that case, what you will do, you will create a row here actually. So you will take the upgrade code from the MSI. You can add row. The upgrade code, you will give the code. Version minimum means from this version you should uninstall. Means if you have 7.0 version, you should uninstall it before installing the main version. What is the maximum version? This should be the present version you are installing. Attribute should be greater than 256. Always prefer to put it as 512 or greater. This is the best practice. 512 or greater than 512. Okay, so that it will uninstall action property. And also you should give a name here, upgrade from 7.0. So this is the entry I have created. See, this is the upgrade code which we will get for every MSI. In the MSI properties we'll have this. Click on MSI, there is an upgrade code. See, from here we'll get this code. We'll copy this code, come to the upgrade table, right click, add row, and in the upgrade code we'll give the code. And in the other tabs like version, first minimum version means this is the version from which it should uninstall. If the 6.0 is their version, it won't uninstall. From 7.0, it will check. The 7.0 is version is there, it will uninstall. The 7.1 is there, it will uninstall. Before 7.4.6 and after 7.0. Whatever are in between these two versions will be uninstalled when you give this entry and give the attribute greater than 512. Okay, this is the default entry you should remember, 512 or greater. Okay, and you should give a name here. And after giving this means you have done only this entry you have created and you have taken this name and you should put it and you should go to the property table, click on the secure custom properties, double click here, and here at the end if you see you have to give a semicolon symbol. See again, this is the symbol I am using. I have to give this symbol and then paste the name which I have used in the upgrade table. Upgrade from 7.0. This is nothing but the action property. Whatever action property you mention in the upgrade table, that should be given in the property table at the end of the secure custom properties. At the end you should mention. Then only the upgrade table will work and upgrade the previous versions. Okay. So this is all about the standard actions. I told you about all the standard actions, main ones: app search, launch condition, upgrade table, and the file cost and cost initialize, file cost and cost finalize. So you can choose any of these and explain them. And also the attribute, you should always keep the upgrade table attribute greater than 512. Okay. And there is one more attribute if you observe. This is a to attribute. What is this to attribute? See, means if there is a to in the attribute, then so this action property should be given in the secure custom properties under this here one. So that is about the upgrade table. If there is a 2 here, what it will do is it will check whether any higher version is present. See, we are installing the version called, if you assume we are installing 7.3. Okay, if you are installing 7.3 version on the system, this system you are going to install 7.3, but you already have 7.4 installed on your system. Then what it will do, when it comes to upgrade table, it will check the higher version is already present, and then the installation will end saying that the application already have the higher version installed on your system. This is due to the 2. If there is a 2, it will check the higher version is already present, and then the installation will stop, just giving you a machine that the latest version is already installed or the higher version is already installed. Okay, that is about the attribute. So I have told you about the standard actions. These are all the standard actions now. And the custom actions means whatever is needed in addition. Okay, if you want to add some actions like giving permissions, add a file, add a script like that. Okay, so you can use a custom action. You can use your own action, that is called a custom action. Custom action generally you will use using a script like PowerShell script or a VB script. Okay, you can execute the custom action inside an MST, but best practice is to create an MST and execute inside it. You can why we use custom actions means we can use custom actions if you don't have knowledge on the tables. Okay, we can do the same thing which we do in the tables using custom actions. See, the launch condition, what it will check? It will check whether the version OS is compatible or not. The same thing you can do it with a custom action also. If somebody is not having enough knowledge to use the tables, they can use the custom action. Or in some companies, like while working on the banking sectors or insurance company related projects, they will not allow you to modify the MSI or MST. Okay, they won't allow you to modify any tables. So in that case, you will create an MST and create a custom action instead of disturbing the tables. Okay, So you are achieving something which can be done by the tables, but you are doing it with a custom action. Okay, that you can do. So if they ask you what you will do with the custom action, you can say you can create folders, files, you can give permissions and all. You can copy files under user profiles. Okay, see, if I have a user profile, what is a user profile means? I am using this system, so my entry, my profile will be there under C users. Okay, my machine is being used by this many. Public means everybody. Okay, and Amulya means my profile, and test is another profile. Okay, test is some other user. You can assume that this is some person. Okay, is like some Kirtana or something. Okay, somebody is the other person who is logged into the system. So this is the user profile of me, and this is the user profile of Kirtana. Okay, so if I want to copy one particular folder from here to my profile to Kirtana's profile. Okay, if the Kirtana's profile doesn't have that particular folder, then I want to copy this particular PowerShell to this Kirtana's profile. So in this case, what I am doing, I am copying manually, but this copying can be done through a custom action inside the MSI using a script. Okay, that is called the copying to the user profiles. Okay, we can retrieve the username using the script. Retrieving means we can get whoever is present here. See, this is my system, and I am using this profile. I don't know who others are using. And the script doesn't know who is all are using here. If there are some 10 user logs in here, user profiles here. So the script doesn't know how many profiles are there. So what it will do, it will search with the variables that are present in the script. It will search how many user profiles are there. And based on that, it will copy the required files to that particular profiles. Okay, this will be done by the script only. So those kind of scenarios can be achieved by custom action. Retrieving is nothing but getting. You can get the username using the script and then place the files to that particular user profile. Okay. Why we need that user profile files? For the application to work as expected. Okay. Sometimes application may not work well if they doesn't have the required user profiles. So that's why you should have the script to retrieve the username and place the files or folders inside it using a custom action. The custom action can also be used to change the properties or modify the properties like that. Okay, and this is a question for you, like to find out what is the difference between a public property and a private property. So please go through yourself what is a public property and a private property inside an MS. Okay, that's all for this session. Please let's meet up in the next session. Thank you.